VM storage is about managing the VHD files that are attached to your VM. The max number of disks you can attach depends on your VM size. So when the VM size is determined, that fixes the max number of disks in addition to the OS disk that you can attach to the VM. Each disk you attach has a speed rating. They come in a couple of performance tiers. In the standard tier, that's a magnetic drive. It's going to be slower performance, but it's going to cost less money to store data on that drive. The largest data disk you can have at the standard tier is 32 terabytes. And you can see that the max throughput is 500 megabytes per second and max IOPS is 2000. Once you get up into SSDs, these are solid state drives, you're going to get faster performance. There's 3 different tiers of SSDs, standard, premium, and ultra. And you can see that in each case, you get more performance, more throughput, more IOPS, and of course, the cost will be higher as well. So let's look at an example of how to add a data disk to a VM. You'll notice in the demo video, at the time the video was created, UltraDisk did not exist. So the video says the largest SSD size is 32 terabytes. Well, that's now 64 terabytes. So just keep that in mind as you prepare for your exam. Let's configure storage for an Azure VM. Here's VM1. I'm going to look at the disks blade. We collapse the blade list here so we can see all settings. You notice that my VM has an OS disk. This disk is created when the VM is set up. Data disks appear also on this page. And to create a new data disk, it's as simple as create and attach a new disk here. You can fill out these entries. The logical unit number must be unique for all disks on a VM. Give a name to the disk. And then choose a storage type, either magnetic or solid state. Different performance, different price points. The size does depend a bit on the storage type. The largest size for any data disk, 32 terabytes. So you decide how large you want your data disk to be. You can see information about its performance. By default, Azure will manage the key that encrypts the disks. So all Azure data is encrypted at rest, including your VM data disks. The host caching entry can be set to none, read-only, or read-write. And you should really think about what data is going to be stored and what workload is going to access that data, because the application workload may have a recommendation. For example, SQL Server recommends that you use read-only cache for data disks on SQL Server and not read-write. If you use the read-write cache, it can conflict some with SQL's caching mechanisms and just slow down performance. So it's really worth considering what data you're going to put on the disk to decide what to use for host caching. This can be changed after the fact as well. If you want a different way to view these settings, you can click Edit here and fill out the same info. When you're done, you must click Save. Azure will create the data disk, make it available to the VM. As the next step, you would connect to the VM, go into something like Disk Manager for Windows, and then you can format the drive, use it, load it with data as you wish.